It's Rick and Sasha with George Willborn. We're talking about the case of Ahmaud Arbery, a young man who was shot and killed in Brunswick, Georgia. And we've got Sybrina Fulton on the phone. She knows all too well what it's like to lose a son to a racist and then have the justice system work against her.
As you were sitting home relaxing and just reflecting on your life, and you're watching the news and you hear of the story of Ahmaud Arbery, what was going through your head?
I saw some of the same similarities with my son Trayvon. I hate to say it. I wasn't in a space at the time when I first found out about it, before it hit the news. I wasn't in a space to talk about it. And so now I feel, you might hear in my voice that it sounds a little stronger, but if you had asked me one day last week, I wasn't in a space at that time to talk about it. I couldn't even discuss it. I was very, 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 very angry. So I was the angry Black woman at that time. But now that things are transpiring and I see that there is some movement, I see that people are paying attention, but we got to do a lot more than pay attention. But it hurt really bad. Just to see some of the similarities that were going on, just to know that we still have people in this country that can stop you and expect that they are superior to you, that they have to stop you to ask you questions, and as if they have a right to ask you questions, as if they have a right to know where you're going and what you're doing. And this country has become so comfortable, and I'm going to use that word deliberately. They have become so comfortable with shooting and killing Black and brown boys, men, women. They are comfortable with killing us. And that's a problem.
Yeah. When the case was going on with your son, Trayvon Martin, do you find this a common practice for people to try to vilify the innocent?
Absolutely. The same thing was done with Trayvon. I mean, you had a 17-year-old kid there, teenager, that was unarmed, and they did a drug and alcohol testing on him, who was unarmed, and he was the victim. And you had a person with a weapon, a gun, loaded gun at the time, 28 years old. Trayvon was 17. We have to put things in proper perspective. So you had a 28-year-old man who thought that it was okay for me to chase this teenager,
right,
and shoot and kill him. We have that in this country, and it's still happening. But I'm just so happy now that people's eyes are open and they see things for what they are. They don't see, all the time they want to think, and people want to justify why the person was shot. And that's what they have to do on their end. The other people have to do that on their end to justify why the person was shot and killed. Yeah. No, you can't tell me that even if he did walk in a vacant building, and he was unarmed, who are you to chase him? Who are you to follow him? Who are you to stop and question him? The most that they were required to do was call 911 and just watch from a distance of what he was doing. When they took it upon themselves, right is right and wrong is wrong, they knew that was wrong.
It's Rick and Sasha with George Willborn. We're talking about Ahmaud Arbery, a young man who was shot and killed in Brunswick, Georgia. They've been trying to vilify him for a very long time, but new evidence comes out showing that he was not the only person in that site at the construction house. Not only that, the man who owned the place, Larry English, said he didn't even think that looked like Ahmaud Arbery at his house the first time. And that wasn't the first time he received a call about someone being at his home. And it wasn't an African-American man in the beginning. There were other people at that home. He didn't even know the McMichaels, Gregory and Travis. 888-909-1514. George?
Are there any legal loopholes or anything legally that this family should be looking at that you went through with your son, and that maybe it blindsided you or that you all didn't see coming?
Who's that, George?
Yes, George Willborn.
Hello, George. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. Got a little
so
headache,
good to hear
I'm
your
great.
voice. I know your pain. I've been there, many years back when this tragedy happened to you and your family, and I'm so sorry that you have to relive this. But I'm curious to know what is it that you could give advice legally that they should be looking for right now.
Well, technically, I can't give any legal advice because I have not been to anybody's law school.
I
But I can
understand.
tell you from the perspective of being a parent, from the perspective of being a mom, from the perspective of just having a child that was shot and killed, that there are it's gonna get ugly before it get better. And I don't think people, and I posted on my social media page, and I say, listen, this is step one. Step one is the arrest. But we can't let up. We got to keep
Right.
paying attention. We got to make sure that we stay woke. We got to keep moving forward on this case, or it's going to drop the ball. An arrest is one thing, but
Yep.
then we have to get have to make sure that he's prosecuted.
That's
Right.
right.
We have to make sure that we get a conviction.
That's right.
By him not having a bond, by both people not having a bond, that's very important. Because now we don't have to worry about if they're going to get their stories together. Everything is recorded and people are paying attention.
Right.
Now, what I want people to do is get connected to a nonprofit organization in their area. Don't wait
Right.
for something to happen in your community. This is the time when you get angry. You can't get angry and just protest. You can't get angry and just like something on social media. You have to do more than that.
Right.
It's way more than just social media posting. We got to do more than that. That's good because it makes people aware of what's going on, but we have to do more than that.
Right. Sybrina, I think sometimes people forget that kids are kids and they just do immature things.
do.
Sean Reed in Indianapolis was on a high-speed chase. He ran and he was shot by police. Did that give them any right to shoot him? I mean, from what we know, he didn't have a gun. The most he had in his hand was a phone.
Well, we have to pay attention to people who take the law into their own hands. I mean, you can't just take the law into your own hands. And what are the police for? If people are, it's just so crazy to me. I'm so frustrated. I just have so much to say. But people are taking the law into their own hands. And I think I saw a post the other day where they had this African American guy, this black guy, where he had a wall of shoes, like all kind of designer shoes and everything on his wall, but a wall full of guns. And I'm like,
Yeah, I saw
okay,
that.
we are really behind when it comes to firearms. We are really behind because they know to arm their entire family. But what's more important is that we learn not only to purchase guns, but also how to shoot them and how to become responsible gun owners.
Absolutely.
Because this cannot keep happening. We can't keep rallying behind families every time this happens. We need to stop what's happening.
It's Rick and Sasha with George Willborn. We're inside the party poll at 888-909-1514. We're talking about the deaths of Ahmaud Arbery, Sean Reed, Breonna Taylor, all killed by some type of racism or law enforcement. And any parent going through the death of their child is too much. But then to get the double whammy from an unfair justice system who doesn't convict these perpetrators, that just really hurts. One person who knows it all too well is the mother of Trayvon Martin, Sybrina Fulton. We're talking to her.
Sybrina, are you ready to make that phone call and talk to the mother of Ahmaud?
I'm almost to that point. It's hard. I have a lot to say to Wanda. I have spoken to the dad, Marcus. I have spoken to him. I was connected through a friend. I just don't want to impose on people. If somebody wants to talk to me, I can certainly and certainly by all means talk to them. But I will be reaching out to her very soon. But I wasn't in a space last week to talk to anybody. I had a lot of media trying to contact me because they compared the cases and they just wanted me to speak out on it. But I wasn't in that. My head wasn't right. I wasn't in the right space to talk about it. It just was so painful to me. And so I posted. But even when I posted, I couldn't respond to people because I didn't want to hear foolishness. I didn't want to hear somebody saying something, and I don't want to call it stupid all the time, but some of those comments are stupid.
Yeah.
And so I would post, and then I would just leave things where they are, and I wouldn't go back and read comments and things like that. So I have mastered that, and I'm glad I have, because I get out what I want to say without listening to or somebody else influencing me how they feel. And so I do that a lot. Like, people say, well, you never respond to me. That's because I never go back and read what they have to say. I just really get out what I need to say. And, I'm on social media. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. Sometimes it's me. Sometimes it's a handler, that's doing things for me, that's helping me out. But I get a lot of what I want to say out. And so I'm kind of proud of being, that person where I'm able to speak, but I'm not always ready to listen to somebody else. So back to your question, Sasha, yes, I definitely will be contacting her. I'm in a better space this week. I feel a lot stronger. I feel a lot better about arrests being made. But I just, lift the family in prayer. I lift the family and just ask God to comfort them and to give them peace, or just a peace of mind right now, because they're going through a lot.
Yeah. Hey, Sybrina, in closing, how's Javaris doing?
He's doing very well. I talk to him every day. And so he's doing very well. That's about one of the things that I smile about all the time.
Right.
And I just thank God for him, because, even when I'm losing it and I'm having my little crisis, with different things, I can call my son, and my son can help lift me up. And and I call him not my SON, but my SUN.
That's
and
right.
So he's my sunshine during a rainy day. And so I'm very thankful for him. I'm very glad for, how I raised him, and just to know that when I'm down, because strong people get down too. Yep. And when I'm down, that he can lift me up by something that I said to him before. And so I always think when I'm feeling a certain way, I think about what my mom said. My mom used to tell us from when we was little, everything will be fine. And we believed it. Mm-hmm. And so I have to tell myself that now sometimes, that everything will be fine.
It's Rick and Sasha with George Willborn, and we've been talking to Sybrina Fulton, the mother of Trayvon Martin. And we can only imagine what Ahmaud Arbery's mother's feeling, losing a child. And we don't know what's going to happen with the legal system. Are they going to be unjust? Will they be fair? Sybrina, thank you for shedding some light on your personal experience and your perspective on all this.
Thank you. I need that. I really need that. A lot of times, people, they call and they say, oh, can you make a comment about this? I mean, my phone was blowing up last week, and I wasn't able to talk to anybody. I was like, people don't realize that I'm going through something myself, that I'll be going through the rest of my life. And so sometimes I don't want to bring the family down, because I'm sad about what happened, about what happened with their situation, because there was some similarities in that case. But I said, when I'm in a better space, I'll return that call. I'll do that interview. I'll do whatever's necessary, because I want to do my part and lend my voice.
With so much going on in your life, it's just amazing how you still can be there for people. Tell me, this is now, since you've been in this space before, since I still grieve over my mother. I think I got a lot better a few weeks ago, but there was someone close in my family. I cannot say who that person was, but that person felt like they needed me, but I wasn't available for them. Is it okay?
It's absolutely okay. So Let me tell you this. This is you. I'm talking to you.
Right.
When you want to cry about your mom, you cry.
Right.
When you want to be sad, you be sad. But know that that's your dark day, and that the sun will shine again.
Right.
You can be in a dark space. You can have your bad days. I still have my bad days. Trayvon was killed in 2012, and I still have my bad days. So allow yourself to grieve and allow yourself to have those bad days. But just know in the back of your mind, tomorrow will be a better day.
That's right. You're truly amazing, Sybrina. I love you. Thank you so much.
I love you guys. Thank you.
We love you back.
Oh, we love you.
Bye-bye.
Everybody get up.